Yeah. Good looking out there. Yeah. Ha. It's Flav, you heard? It's Flav. Check it. I had to get what I earned. It's my turn. Welcome to the show. It's Trenton's Tavern. Yeah. Ha. That's how we doing it. Welcome to the show, y'all. Enjoy.
YouTube, I'm back already, baby. Episode 2. You already know what it is. Welcome to the show, man. Just like you heard in the intro. Welcome to the show, man. This is Trenton's Tavern. We're back for episode 2. This is gonna be called The Prison Sentence, and I just want to disclaimer right now. I am watching football as I try to record this, so if I get a little bit off track, that's the reason why. But welcome back to the show. I just released my first episode. If you haven't already seen that joint, make sure you go to that joint and you click on that. You like, you subscribe, you comment, and you have to share it. That's all I'm asking for. You have to share it because, again, I'm only gonna get around by word of mouth, you know what I mean? Like, that's what this whole thing is about. Word of mouth and sharing this lovely information that I'm giving you to other people so I can help somebody else smile, or I can help somebody else get through their day, or I can help somebody else with something, you know what I mean? Just look at me and laugh, or whatever the case may be, you know what I mean? Whatever it may be, I'm just trying to help everybody in the world some way, and this is my gift to you. So we're gonna jump right into this joint, and you already know what we gotta do. We have to set the mood, you know what I mean? So let's do that, you know what I mean? And while I do this, I'm just gonna let this joint burn out. But you know I gotta set the mood because, again, my house has to smell good, and this is just a vibe. This is gonna be one of my things that I have to do in the beginning of every show. So I may need to go stock up on these joints where I could get these and you know what I mean, set the mood, you know what I mean? So here we go. Let's do this, baby. All right, so like I was telling y'all last week, this week's episode is gonna be called Prison Sentence. And I know y'all probably wondering, like, prison sentence? This man ain't never been to jail, which you're correct. And I don't plan on going to jail ever. Never a day in my life. Salute to everybody that's in there, that's been there before, and all of that other good stuff, but it's just not a place that I ever want to experience, and I don't plan on it. I'm 31 years old, never even been in the back of a cop car, and I don't plan on doing that either, you know what I mean? So just because you're from the hood, you grew up in the hood, don't mean you got to be a product of your hood. I'm just saying, I got street smarts, book smarts, and all of that other stuff. I'm just, the system just ain't for your boy. So I ain't trying to go there, you heard? But this joint is called Prison Sentences because, all right, let's just say it like this, right? Recently, like last month, which it was July, my birthday month, right? I went on vacation for my birthday week and I didn't do anything. I stayed home and I was just taking time out for myself. I just was taking time out for myself to get to know myself, and think back on like what I want to do in life and stuff like that, because I love my job. It's just not what I want to do, so it doesn't make me happy. This is what I want to do, so this is where my passion is going to be, and I know y'all going to be able to feel it as I continue to go on. But I was out for a week, you know what I mean, and I just had the time to think and things like that. So before that, let's just go back to June. I went on a fast, a 1-week fast in the beginning of June for God to answer some questions for me and for him to show me some things, you know what I mean? And he did that. So after that, I still was feeling kind of empty about some things and still trying to figure some stuff out, you know what I mean? Like, so the week of my birthday, you know, I was like, well, actually, let's say this, not even the week of my birthday. Probably the last week in June, Uzziah came up to me when we was at work randomly, and he was just like, listen, I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I'm telling you to go on a fast. And the next time you go on a fast, be completely transparent with God as you want to. I mean, as you can. Be completely transparent with God as you can. And he said, by the end of that fast, God is going to answer any and everything that you want done and that you're fasting for. He said all of the answers are going to be there at the end of the fast, right? So check it out. He didn't even know. I talked to Uzziah about everything. He's one of my best friends. I talked to him about everything. And before he came up to me, he didn't even know that I was already planning on going on a fast. So that was just the confirmation for me that the fast that I was about to take for a month in June or in July, that I was supposed to do it, you know what I mean? So boom, my birthday week comes, you know what I mean, and that's when my fast starts. And I'm just praying for certain stuff and everything. I'm not going to talk about everything that I went on the fast for, because it was a ton of stuff, and some of that stuff is like, it's personal. A lot of it's personal stuff, but this is something that I need to share with, because I believe that it made me a new person, right? So check it out, right? So what happened is I went on a fast because I was feeling a lot of voids in my life, you know what I mean? And I was sitting back thinking like, well, you know, I'm doing pretty good in life, you know what I mean? Like, I'm cool with all my family, all my friends. I got major support around me, you know what I mean? I have a lot of support around me. I have, you know, I just got a new car, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not where I want to be financially, and I'm gonna say that until I'm a millionaire, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm not there, I'm not where I want to be financially, but I'm doing okay for myself, you know what I mean? Like, so I was just asking God to show me, like, why did I still feel empty? Why did I still feel like I had black holes in my life? You know what I mean? Like, turning a chapter and turning 31, I just was confused as to why I had all these voids in my life. And one way, you know, nobody can answer that but God, because he's the creator of my life, you know what I mean? So check it. He began to reveal some stuff from me. So he began to reveal some things to me, you know what I mean, that put me on alert as to why I was filling these voids in my life, you know what I mean? And one of the things he told me to do is I have to rekindle relationships with people that I consider close to me, because I damaged a lot of my relationships and I didn't even know that I was doing it. So he had to elaborate on that, because I didn't, like, that was blowing me for a loop. I didn't know what was going on. So he was just like, you know, pretty much what happened is, you know, with the absence of my father as a kid, growing up in the hood, as you already know, most black men know, growing up in the hood, you're taught to be tough. You got to be strong. You can't show weakness. You can't do this. You can't do that, because if you show any of that stuff, or if you get caught slipping in the hood, you bound to be fighting all the time as a kid, or you're bound to end up dead or something like that. So that's what they teach you, you know what I mean? Like, so it's not many times where you have the option to be vulnerable. You don't have the option to just sit back and you know, talk about your feelings. Because if you talk about your feelings with your boys, they're gonna be like, oh nigga, shut up, like, stop being a hoe, you know what I mean? Like, that's just the culture of black people growing up in the hood. You just can't be caught vulnerable. So with that being said, that led me to be not vulnerable with a lot of people and a lot of things, like relationships that I was in and friendships that I had, you know what I mean? Like, it caused me to do things that I didn't even know that I was doing, like arguing for no reason, you know, never wanting to make up for my rights, or never wanting to admit when I was wrong. You know, it just caused me to be like a super stubborn person. And people always said that. Like, people always be like, why are you so stubborn, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm not stubborn. Like, this is just who I am. When really it's not who I am. It's just like it's who I became over time, because my father wasn't in my life to teach me some of the things that a young man needs his father to teach him. Like, now, don't get me wrong, I had my uncles and I had my cousins and stuff like that, but they can only teach you so much. You know what I mean? Like, some young men need their father in their life. I don't care what race, whatever, what ethnicity, it does, none of that matters. Like, some people, I mean, all young men need their father in their life, you know what I mean? So that was one of the things that he revealed to me, that I had been carrying a lot of hurt and a lot of baggage since I was a kid, you know what I mean? Like, having to be quiet and having to just suck stuff up, pause, no homo, having to just, you know, deal with stuff like that, you know what I mean? And that caused me to build a layer up in me where I wasn't willing to be vulnerable with not a soul on this earth unless she was my mom's, pretty much. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't really know how to love people. I didn't really know how to accept love like I thought I did. Like, because to this day, you know what I mean? Like, I'm still single, but it's like, if I look back, like, I can probably say that a lot of the reason why I don't have nobody right now is a lot of my fault. But a month ago, I wouldn't say that. You know what I mean? A month ago, I would be blaming them for what they did. You know what I mean? And I've already called certain people, even some of my ex-girlfriends and stuff. I've talked to them and I had to apologize to them because I was if they were already previously hurt from a past relationship or anything else, me being stubborn and me being stubborn and me not caring for them like I should because I just didn't know how, added to that turmoil. You know what I mean? I just made it worse. So I had to apologize for my part, you know what I mean? Like, and that was one of the things, and that was hard for me because I literally have, and I'm still trying to call people. I'm still trying to get into touch with people and apologize and things like that. And everybody so far is taking it pretty well. They say they understand and all of that other good stuff, you know what I mean? But it's hard for me because as a man, as a 31-year-old man, I have to man up. I have to call people and I have to admit to people that I'm wrong. But I will tell you what it's done. It has made me a stronger and a better person. You know what I mean? Like, it's also freed a lot of that guilt off of me too. You know what I mean? I can't go back and change what I did, but what I can do is apologize and make it better from this point forward, because now I know what's going on. Now I can acknowledge it, and you know what I mean? It's just made me a better person. I'm sleeping better at night and everything, but that wasn't the kicker. The kicker was, after all of that, with my father not being present, I finally had a sit down talk with my dad. And me and him chopped it up for probably about 2 hours, 2.5 hours or so. And I just needed questions. I needed answers for the questions that I had. I just needed answers because I needed to know, you know, like, why wasn't you present and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not going to get too deep into that either because that's between me and him. But I do want to shout out my pops because now we on our way to becoming best friends. You know what I mean? Like, and you can't imagine the weight that takes off of you having a relationship with your father. You know what I mean? Like, for him to call you and y'all just be able to talk about stuff. I mean, maybe the people that already have that, you know what I mean? But I mean, man, it's such a great feeling. Like, it's put a whole, like, I look at life completely different after talking to my pops, which is the craziest thing because you like, that should be automatic, but it's not automatic. You know what I mean? It's not. Like, some people's parents, both of the parents aren't there for whatever reason. You know what I mean? But I am encouraging whoever is, if you're watching this and you don't have a relationship with somebody in your life, one of your parents or somebody that raised you or whatever the case may be, I encourage you to take the time out to sit down and talk to them if you have questions about anything. I'm encouraging you to do it because it's going to make you feel completely different. I've been sleeping better. I'm in a mindset right now where there's zero negativity allowed in my life. If I can even sniff and smell negativity, I'm turning my back and I'm out. And you can ask the people around me. You can ask people that's close to me. I'm on another level right now. It's just no negativity whatsoever. And I feel awesome about that. You know what I mean? Like, and one of the things that also propelled me to take that leap of faith and talk to my pops was, I was talking to my best friend Janine, and she told me, I read Charlemagne's books, and he was saying the same thing. Like, he just made up with his father, and he's 40 years old. You know what I mean? He just got closure with hating his father for all of these years, and he's 40 years old. So she was like, you probably have to talk to him because you're being affected by stuff out of his absence. With his absence being there, you're being affected by things and you don't even know. You know what I mean? And that's why I wanted to call this prison sentences, because I was a prisoner of myself. Like, I imprisoned my mind, to continue to be tough and just continue to go on thinking that the way that I was doing things is life. Like that's how I am. You're gonna accept it or you're not. Period. Point blank. You know what I mean? Like, and it's that's just not the way to look at life. Like, if there's one way to get something done, there's always another way to get it done too. Where there's a will, where there's a will, there's a way. For a fact. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm learning. And I mean, it's just such a beautiful thing that I finally, was able to take that leap of faith and break those chains, because I had to tell my pops too, like, that I'm going to be one of the ones that break the generational curse. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is probably why God hasn't given me a kid thus far, because I wasn't ready. And he knew I wasn't ready, you know what I mean? Because he knows how bad I want to be a great father, but I couldn't unless I talked to you and begin to break this generational curse. And that's what this is all about. Like, I finally broke this and I feel great, man. I feel great. Like, so I'm not really too worried about my kids anymore when I start having them and things of that sort. It was just one of the greatest things that ever happened to me. And I'm not even going to, it's probably the second best thing that happened to me after giving my life to God when I was a young kid. You know what I mean? But this was a breakthrough in life for me. And that's why I wanted to call this prison sentence, because I just feel like I was in prison in my mind and my mindset, and it just was nasty, man. Like, it wasn't like, thinking about how I used to be, it's like kind of embarrassing, because just arguing with people and stuff for no reason when I know I'm wrong. You know what I mean? Like, and my version of love was just horrible, man. It wasn't the greatest, but I tell you right now, I got all the love in the world to give. You know what I mean? Like, and I just, it's just different, man. Like, it's just a different feeling, and it's all from, stuff that I didn't even realize that was happening in my childhood. It's the craziest thing ever, B. Like, it's the craziest thing. But I do want to thank God for continuing to reveal stuff to me. And even this show is another step in the process of me getting to where I want to be and me helping people out and things like that. Because again, I'm still, although I've been in church and stuff all my life, I still have a hard time knowing when God talking to me. You know what I mean? Like, and a few ways that I know he talks to me is, one, through my dreams, and two, through confirmation, whether it's through other people or if he tells me something, or if something happens numerous times, or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? So how I even begin to start this show, I told y'all that Uzziah came to me and he told me, he's like, yeah, like, it's time for you to do your own thing anyways. You know what I mean? Like, you need to do your show. Be like, it's time to let your wings spread and do your own show. And I'm just like, cool. You know what I mean? Like, so then I was talking to another co-worker, and he was like, we're not supposed to be here. You know what I mean? Talking about at work. He's like, this is not how life is supposed to be. And I'm just like, what you mean? He like, are you happy? Like, are you happy working here? I'm like, it's a cool job. It's just not what I want to do. He's like, exactly. So you need to be doing what you want to do, right? So boom, he's like, so what do you like to do? And I'm like, I like to do a lot of stuff, but what does that have to do with anything? You know what I mean? What does that have to do with anything? And he's just like what's one of your passions? And I was like, well, sports. And he was like, oh, you like sports? He's like, so you got a camera and stuff, right? I was like, yeah. He was like, you like to talk about sports? I'm like, yeah. He's like, YouTube is probably one of the best places to begin a career talking like that. As long as you stay consistent with it, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Just get on there, start talking about sports, blah, blah, blah. And I'm pretty sure it'll flourish from there, because that's your passion. So you put something into it, the earth is going to give it back out, blah, blah, blah. And I was already thinking about doing this show before he even said anything. You know what I mean? He looked at me and he was like, YouTube is where all your money is. That YouTube is holding your money right now. So I'm just like, yeah, that's just confirmation. You know what I mean? Because I already had the plan set up, the structure of the show and everything else, you know what I mean? So after I heard that, it was even more motivation to be like, that you already know what it is then. Like, YouTube, here I come. This is what has to be. So this is my baby. And again, I really just want to thank all of y'all for your support, and I just ask that y'all share and like and comment on my stuff, and just stay on this ride with me. Again, I got a ton of ideas. I'm gonna have special guests on here and all of that other stuff. Like, the show is gonna be great. Like, I hope it becomes something that you guys are looking forward to every week. You know what I mean? Because I'll probably be dropping them Saturday mornings, maybe earlier, maybe Friday, but either Friday or Saturday. I'll be dropping them every week, one of those 2 days, you know what I mean? So yeah, that was the topic of the day. Thank you for listening. So now we are going to move over real quick to we're gonna move over to sports talk real quick. All right, so I didn't do the NFL because it's only the second week, so it really don't matter. All I want y'all to know is the Ravens won like 59-3 or something last Sunday, and we got to go to Arizona this week. I'm sure we're gonna beat Arizona too. That's all y'all need to know about the NFL. Any other team, trash bags, you know what I mean? So it is what it is, but I am gonna do the top 25 college picks. So we're gonna start off with number 25, Virginia at Florida State. I got Virginia winning that game. Number 24, USC versus BYU. That game is going to be closer than what people think it is because BYU ain't no pushover. But I do think USC squeezes that out. Then we got number 23, Washington versus Hawaii. Washington by a landslide. 22, Boise State versus Portland. I don't even know who Portland State is. Is that like a high school or a JV? I don't know. Anyways, Boise State is going to put up like 70 points on them probably, but they're winning by a landslide. Moving on to 21, Maryland versus Temple. Maryland is surprising me, and I'm kind of happy Michigan don't got to play them this year because they look tough right now, which is good for the Big Ten, but it's not good for people with teams in the Big Ten that's not Maryland. Anyways, Maryland wins that by a landslide too. Then we got 20, Washington State versus Houston. I like Washington State. It just like random classic team that just always is good somehow, some way. You know what I mean? Like, so I got Washington State winning that joint. And then the game of the week, which is where game day is going to be Iowa versus Iowa State. Now, that game is going to be better than what a lot of people think it's going to be. That Iowa State game is going to be better because Iowa State ain't no pushover team, and the way that their offense is, yeah, I actually have Iowa upsetting I actually have Iowa State upsetting number 19 Iowa for that joint. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be a close game, but it's gonna be good. And boy, these are some. Yeah, I'm gonna be glued to my couch again. So, moving on to number 18, Michigan State versus Arizona State. Now, Michigan State started playing them last year, and Arizona State actually beat them, but they went out to Arizona State last year. This year, I think they play in Michigan. It's hard to say, but I think this is a great test for Michigan State. But I got Arizona State with the upset, and that's probably some of my hate. You know what I mean? That's probably some of my hate. I love it. But yeah, all right, moving on to number 17, UCF versus Stanford. All right, UCF ain't lost a game in like 200 and something plus days in college football. The team, I mean, and you can, I guess, if you want to say they won a national champion, that's what they were saying. But yeah, they haven't lost a game in forever, but they gotta play Stanford, and Stanford ain't no hoe. They not no hoe when it comes to this football thing, man. So for the first time in 239,000 days, I think Stanford pulls this off. I just don't think that they've ever faced a powerhouse like this, and Stanford ain't no hoe. So I got Stanford with the upset there. And then we got Texas A&M versus Lamar. Okay, I have friends named Lamar. I don't know no school named Lamar. I don't even know what division this school is. I don't know where this school is located and why they're getting paid to play Texas A&M, but they are. So I got Texas A&M winning that by 45 miles. Then we got Oregon versus Montana. Who y'all know or what y'all know from Montana? No disrespect to these schools, but come on, man. Oregon is the Ducks gonna quack. Let's just say that they win. Then number 14, Wisconsin has a bye week, which is crazy because we play them next week and we struggle with Army, which I knew that Army game. I ain't even gonna get into that because I was over here about to have a heart attack, man. I don't like playing those teams. I don't know who schedules those teams, but somebody scheduled Army for us to play Army, and then we almost lost the second week. But we didn't. A win is a win. I'll take it. Then we got number 13, Penn State at Pittsburgh. I got Penn State winning that, even though I think that game is also going to be a little bit closer than what people think. But Penn State, I got them winning that. Then we have Texas versus Rice. The Longhorns is going to cook that rice and serve it up over some good Texas barbecue, because that's what that's going to be. Barbecue chicken, like Shaq said. Then we got number 11, Utah versus Idaho State. Now, I got Utah by a landslide, but let me tell y'all something about Utah. Utah is that dark horse team this season that everybody needs to pay attention to, because they're going to end up, if they keep silent and do what they do, that's a team that can end up in the playoffs and nobody is paying attention to them. Then we have, of course, number 10, Hail to the Victors. We need it. We need it, because I'm mad at them right now. Like, not mad, but I'm just a little frustrated because I heard all of this stuff in the offseason, and we struggle with Army, man. We struggle with Army, which it's only because of the fumbles and the turnovers, and I can talk about this for an hour, but I'm not going to talk about it. We have a bye week. I can rest easy this week and watch everybody else panic when their teams play. We have a bye week, and then next week we play Wisconsin, which we need a bye week to recoup. Then we moving on to number 9, Florida versus Kentucky. Florida looked like trash against that first week in Miami, and Felipe Franks, the Florida quarterback, he was wilding out. You know what I mean? Like, he did something, and then he came in and threw a pick. Like, he doesn't look great. He doesn't look that great, and I think Kentucky's gonna pull this one out. Honestly, if you really want to ask my opinion. Kentucky, I got Kentucky with the upset there. Then we got Auburn over Kansas, or we got Auburn, number 8, Auburn versus Kent State. Auburn by a landslide. Then we have number 7, Notre Dame versus New Mexico State. That game might be good until like the third quarter, and then Notre Dame is just gonna take off. So boom, that's over. Notre Dame wins that. Then we have number 6, Ohio State versus Indiana State. Now, y'all know I hate Ohio State, but Indiana plays them great every single year. Like, that game ain't no pushover game. I don't know how great Indiana looks this year, but I think Ohio State is just way too talented. You know what I mean? So they're going to win that game. Number 5, Oklahoma versus UCLA. That game probably will be a little bit closer for a little bit longer than people's comfort, but Oklahoma pulls that off with the Heisman candidate Jalen Hurts. Easy money. Then we have LSU versus number 4, LSU versus Northwestern State. I'm not even going to tell you my pick there. Then we got number 3, Georgia versus Arkansas State. I'm not even going to tell you my pick there. And then we have number 2 Alabama versus South Carolina. That game is probably going to be decent. Alabama's going to end up winning it, but that game could, because South Carolina really isn't that terrible. So, I mean, it could be good for like a quarter and a half, but Alabama's going to win that, as you know. And then we have number 1, Clemson versus my hometown heroes, Syracuse. You see my man Otto back there chilling with the Syracuse shirt on. I love SU to death, but it ain't happening, baby. Like, I'm sorry. Y'all gotta go against Clemson. This is the best team with the greatest quarterback in college football right now. The best quarterback in college football in Trevor Lawrence. They are going to the Dome, though. So it'll be interesting for like 5 minutes. And then it's going to just get out of control. I'm pretty sure of that. I love you, SU. You birthed me. You birthed a legend, but nah, it ain't happening, B. It's just not going to happen. And that is my top 25 picks of the week. like I said, I did not do NFL because it's only the second week, and you know what I mean, like it's not really, it don't really matter. People just going into their second week. All you need to know is the Ravens won, the Browns got blown out, the Steelers got blown out, and the Bengals lost to Seattle. All of them are in my division. So the Ravens is 1-0 at the top of the division when everybody counted us out. I'm just saying, baby. I'm just saying. And yeah, just stay tuned because NBA will be coming back in October. College basketball follows that not too long after that. So I'll be giving y'all some of my picks on that, because probably top 25 for college ball too. NBA, it'll be every once in a while because it's just too many games and all of this other stuff, you know what I mean? So boom, there you have it. That's sports talk for the week, baby. Hey, so now we moving into the last segment, which is cheers. This is when I send y'all off, and I'm gonna give y'all a drink to try for this weekend when football on, when you can sit on your couch and you can just binge watch football all day. And the drink this week, which I really didn't know what I was gonna do, but my friend hit me up, my connect hit me up, and yeah, somehow I got a bottle of white grape Ciroc, baby. This is not in Columbus yet. This is not in Columbus because Columbus gets everything late. This is all over on the East Coast, and I think this came from Maryland. It's probably over in Virginia and New York and Boston. It's probably all the way over there. But this is the drink of the week, baby. I don't know how y'all gonna get it and try it. Maybe y'all can order it. I don't know. I just, you know what I mean? People know I love Ciroc, so when they go out of town, they hit me up, ask me, do I want a bottle? And here it is. I got one of the, and this bottle so sexy too. Y'all see that? Woo-hoo! That bottle sexy. So, if you love Ciroc like I love Ciroc, I just drink this drink straight, but it kind of tastes like white grape Robitussin. So I don't know if you really want to drink it straight. So I just mix it with get my glass, because there is a football game on, like I said. So I'm gonna take a little drinky drink right now and watch this game. So I'm just mixing it with this cranberry juice, and it dilutes the taste for real. So I gotta pour, but I'm gonna freehand it right now. You know what I mean? Let me taste it. Taste a little shotty shot. You heard? Ah. Woo! It's actually not that bad. Because when I opened it yesterday, it was hot. And it went down bad. It went down real bad. But it's not that bad when it's cold. My stomach is burning now. Jesus. I'm gonna pour a little bit more, and this is gonna be my my little drink for the night. It'll help me sleep better too. Don't judge me, fam. Yup. So once again, thank you guys for watching. I want to say cheers to everybody, send you off on a good note, and just say thank you. Thank you for your support. Just continue to watch, continue to support, continue to comment, share, like, all of that good stuff. I'll be back, you already know, the next week, and then I'm coming back when? The next week after that. And that's what it is. Y'all just can't, y'all not gonna be able to get enough of me, man. Y'all just not gonna be able to get enough of me. So with that being said, I am signing off for the night. I'm about to enjoy this football game, and I just want to tell y'all cheers, man. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe too. Make sure you subscribe. I love y'all, man. Greatest audience ever. Let's get it.